2, 1. Wow, we just came off a really intense first round of the MSB playoffs, first ever MSB playoffs.
There's a lot of softball in the air. There's Night League, we started.
Live at the Night League location.
Right here, we just finished some great names we'll talk about later. But MSB did keep the pick your opponent. And Sammy S is in DT.
Yes, Sammy S in DT of Major League with Archie and Itzkowitz. They said we're going to go for the team, in their opinion, with the least firepower, and Menachem Diamondstein and David Catton's 12 Angry Men.
So they didn't disrespect Diamondstein per se, or I guess they did at the end, but they went with the team that they thought couldn't hit, and boy, were they wrong.
And that was the second matchup. I actually want to go to the first matchup of the day. We started 9 o'clock in the morning. It was the Cobra Kai organization versus the Cucumbers. Going into the week, David Harari and Ray Esses were really spatting at each other. They were really in a heated debate, and all the emotions came out in the field. But that wasn't the story of the game for the first 6 innings.
Right, I think you have to say at the end of the whole culmination of the doubleheader, it was the coming out party of Eddie Harari.
Right, so Eddie Harari always right here as a pitcher, and this past 2-3 weeks, he just elevated his game to up
here.
Take
a notch up. Last year he was a rookie, and I know in Brooklyn, he had a team that had bad defense behind him.
Yeah, it was.
This year,
the Teletubbies, actually.
Right. So this year, he has a much better outfield, a rejuvenated Natan Safdie.
Right, Natan. I don't know where this Natan's been, but this is the Natan we all thought was going to be there every week.
He's playing like a wise guy, but great.
Right, for sure.
Bobby Safdie, who's been a consummate, really strong left field power hitter.
Always.
And the Richters, we know Mark Richter. I hate calling guys out, but had a really terrible offensive year. I don't know how he hit in the playoffs, but he's a winner.
He actually had a lot of productive outs. Didn't hit well, but he had productive outs.
His run is over.
But his glove is always what makes him on the field the most important thing.
He is gold out there at first base.
Well, either way, the first matchup was Cobra Kai. The big story of the day for them was they were missing Ralph Hannon. I mean, it's not a Cobra Kai. The Cucumbers, they're missing Ralph Hannon.
He's off in Rome.
Rome doing things that probably we cannot speak about.
When in Rome.
And they got Eddie Nissim. They were supposed to get either Maxi Deed or A.B. Saka, but the spring league and deal,
didn't work out.
They had a rain out, so they had to end up getting Eddie Nissim. And Eddie Nissim was not the problem for the first 6 innings.
And I heard he's been pitching very well in other leagues, so it wasn't like out of the blue.
Right, it was a 2-0 game, and in the 7th inning, shoddy call, questionable call, maybe not, maybe it was actually the right call, went down, and
I actually spoke to that umpire today, and he watched the videos, and he was saying how, wow, guys were killing me. It was much closer than I thought. On a big tip of the cap to David Harari, by the way, he made up with those umpires and very respectfully.
Well, either way, they blew the game. They had a 2, and Eddie Nissim did walk 2 batters in a row to put the tying runs on second and third.
Painful walks. And then who blew it open to officially put the nail in the coffin?
Natan hit a grand slam. Natan hit a bomb right field grand slam home run. Very important because it went from a 1-run game to a 5-run game. And then guess what? That was the balloon deflated completely, and David Harari's Cucumbers came out flat game 2.
So it's funny. I told some of the teams, some of the players on that team, you know, that game 2 loss you guys could whine, but that showed me that's why you're not a champion.
They don't have a heart of a champion.
And they got very mad at me, but I said, you know what? I'm not saying you have to win it, but to be deflated and keep harping back to that one call, I'll say there was a team that played tonight that may have gotten hit hard on the call. They didn't let it hurt them. And in the same game, they came back with some fire.
So you have to have that.
You gotta overcome.
You know, and they didn't have it, obviously. They folded like a cheap suit, and
they worked hard to get to the playoffs.
Game 1, they felt like they got, and you know what? There's a lot of emotions running high, and people were ejected, and after that, when you lose a game like that, it's very hard to get up emotionally for game 2.
A little hard. We recorded some of the funny lines that were said. We can't repeat.
Cannot repeat.
But good for us to record.
Either way, congratulations to the Cucumbers on a very good season. You're eliminated. Right now, Cobra Kai advances to go to the semifinals.
We'll talk about that in a minute. But on to the next game.
The quarterfinals.
No, nothing to go to the semis.
Right.
The other matchup was something crazy, and that I was there for.
So, which one? The Major League?
Major League against 12 Angry Men. Holy moly.
Major League 12 Angry Men. Game 1 really was not indicative of what the series was going to be. We had some late arriving. Archie came in. Major League was still had a lead. Major League gutted out the game. They won game 1. And, you know, it was a ho-hum victory. And, you know, it just felt like in the air of the game that they were right for selecting 12 Angry Men, and they're going to sweep them. But game 2, Menachem Diamondstein and Yankee Gutman both put the teams on their backs, and Diamondstein pitched a shutout, and they had a walk-off in the bottom of the 7th. and Gutman played an unbelievable shortstop, and they forced it to a series game 3.
They won 1-0 game 2.
Yeah.
That's something special. Now, game 3 is something we call epic.
Yeah,
I want to fast forward, but
Wow.
it was a crazy game. A lot of tension, game 3, whoever wins. Got down to the 7th inning. We had a big crowd here because of our minors.
The M&S minors waiting on
and
looming
they're all
on
waiting,
deck.
about 50 kids, and there was other stands, and it was an 8-3 game, and we're like, all right, 3 more outs, Major League gets them out, and they're in the semifinals. And the team, the reason they chose them was because they're light offensively.
Lack of firepower.
Well, that firepower, I don't know where it came from.
No, it came. I'll tell you where it came from. Well, he had some big at-bats. Diamondstein was struggling early on, but he had a rope double to right field.
Gutman hit a nice line
Gutman
drive.
had a line
up the middle.
drive. Their money players came to play that inning, and they came together as a team like you'll never see. And they went to extra innings that game, and they ended up winning an extra
Yeah, I
innings.
feel like Yankee Gutman was willing the team. We're not losing.
He kept on,
We're not gonna lose.
At shortstop, he kept on chanting that we're not losing this game, and he believed it, and he willed their team to victory. And they went into the bottom of the 8th inning, and they won in 8 innings in top of the 8th.
Unbelievable! It was
Great
a
series.
sight. The highlights of that game. Where if you didn't catch him yet, definitely go look him up.
Definitely, and
because
listen,
something
there
a lot
were
of fun.
untimely walks from Mark Cohen in that inning as well. But
hey, it's softball; it goes both ways. There might have been an error or two here and there,
Right.
But there were a lot of nice hits, and they came back and they earned their ways to the semifinals.
And you know what? And they really deserve it. Now we have the 2 semifinal matchups, which I guess we could quickly preview. We have the Mighty Ducks going up against
12 Angry Men.
12 Angry Men. Correct. I'm sorry about that. Because Stephen Gindy had the ability to select any team, and he selected to pick Cobra Kai.
Wow.
So talk about disrespecting Eddie Harari. Eddie Harari just pitched a shutout, gave up 2 runs, then 13 innings consecutive, no runs. And Stephen Gindy's not that big of an offensive team. They went straight after them, and they said, "We still want you."
So Steven didn't go the route that the other guys went, picking 12 Angry Men. I said they saw him as the hot team. But this could be fun.
It's going to be
a lot of fun.
And then the other series is also going to be a heck of a lot of fun. We have the Mighty Ducks going up against
12 Angry Men.
12
right?
Angry Men. And that's going to be that's Diamondstein's pitching versus the firepower of the Ducks. They're by far the best offensive team in the league. And Diamondstein just pitched like an ace, and he's fresh now, 4 or 5 days rest.
Right, yeah.
I don't know what's going to happen, honestly.
That rest is well needed. Now, I haven't seen as much of MSB baseball, if almost anything. Sammy's there every week recording and doing it all. You got predictions here?
My predictions are as follows. I think 12 Angry Men will win game 1, and I think they're going to be in position to sweep, and the Ducks are going to put together one of those monster innings between JoJo, Yakov, Melech, Joey Batesh. Their team is all clicking on all cylinders, and they're going to win an emotional game 2, and they're definitely going to push to a game 3.
I'm going to flip it. I think Diamondstein's losing game 1. He's going to do similar like last week.
Okay.
He knows how to gut it out, this kid. And game 3, I'm giving 12 Angry Men to go for.
So in game,
I think the Sarias are going to fall flat this year.
So in game
They're in
3,
the
it's
semis.
funny. Last year, Diamondstein lost in the World Series with a very weak team. It was him and Joe West. This is not similar because they're a little deeper than that, but I do think they're not deep enough, and I think the Ducks are going to give them all they can handle.